Welcome to another video from explainingcomputers.com. This time I'm going to take a look at the i8 mini wireless keyboard and touchpad, which has been sent to me for review by my happy friends at Riitek. Now, this device is great for controlling things like a media PC, and in particular I want to see how good it is for controlling a Raspberry Pi and a LattePanda. Right, let's now get into our i8, which comes in a nice straightforward box, a box that even I should be able to cope with, I would hope. I should be able to get into this straight away. I think it's just a lifty thing on the end, isn't it? There we are, and hopefully, yes, I told you I could get into this, and it's, oh, there's a wire. This is presumably to charge the thing, and hopefully, come on, doesn't want to come out. Come out, come out, come out, we are. And oh, and there's a bits of paper as well. What have we got here? We've got, a thanks. Thanks from Rai for, Rai stands for Real Internet Idea, it tells us on there, so that's a nice little card there. And there's a little manual, which I'm sure we won't need that, but there's various long and complex instructions, but I'm sure it's very simple. And here is the Rai device itself. Now, I should say there's various versions of the i8. For a start, it comes in different colours, but it also comes in a version which is controlled by a 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle, which is the version here, and there's also a Bluetooth version as well, so you can use it with different devices depending on how you want to connect it. But crinkly packet as always, get it out of the crinkly packet. There we are, crinkle, 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 and here is the Rai i8, and it's that lovely soft touch plastic. I do like these things with the soft touch plastic these days. Never know how long they're going to last. In 5 years' time they might be all sticky, but right now this feels really, really nice. And the nice clicky keys. I thought these would be rubber keys, but they're not. They're proper plastic keys with a nice feel on that. And the thing I really like about this is, as you can probably see, it's got so many keys. This is not just a device which has got the basic keyboard and the numbers. It's got function keys. It's got a function there so we can access more function keys. You can even do a control alt delete with a function and holding the enter key down. That could be rather dangerous, but it's nice to have. We've obviously got, as you can see, a trackpad here to use for a mouse. We've got various mouse buttons. We can click the mouse here. We can click left and right mouse buttons down here as well. We've got the cursor on a nice little joypad thing for moving things around with a selection OK in the middle. We've got buttons here to control media type things, home page on your browser, that type of thing, controlling your speakers on and off, your audio, and we've even got this for controlling video functions, volume and back, fast forward and reverse and play and pause, all that sort of stuff. This is really very well equipped as a remote wireless keyboard unit, very different to what you get on most smart televisions where you've got almost no control at all on the remote. So this will need charging up, I would think, and there must be, yes, at the top there you can see there's a standard USB connector, which is presumably what our wire is for. So if we just take off the twiddly squiddly, there is a wire which is just a standard USB wire to do that, and I presume we just connect that in the top like that, and off screen somewhere I'm sure I've got some USB power because I'm that sort of person, I'm vaguely prepared, and that would, it would start to charge the battery, wouldn't it? But I'll do that in a second, but I'll take it out for now. Might have some power anyway, hadn't it, if we just flick it on, the on button at the top here, and oh yes, it isn't telling us the battery's flat. That's telling us it's searching, I think, for its dongle, which we haven't actually discovered yet. I presume a dongle, like on other Rai devices, will be inside the bottom cover. So if we just get the cover off, come on, that comes off like that. And the battery's in there as well. It's got a rechargeable battery, but you can actually access it. You could even replace this rechargeable battery. What a marvellous idea on devices these days. And there, as we can see, is our dongle, our 2.4 gigahertz little wireless connector for it. It's just a standard USB wireless thing. And if we put the back on there, like that, there it is. And presumably, if I plug this wireless dongle into a computer so it's powered up, and I've got a computer off screen as well, if I can get it the right way around, I plug that in, hopefully, if I plug it in, yes, you will see, hopefully on here, we've now got a little blue light on the top because it's actually detected the dongle is connected. So that's all you have to do to make this thing work. You just basically take the dongle, plug it in, and you've got your wireless keyboard and mouse and all that sort of stuff. And this is obviously very handy for controlling a media PC, but for me it's particularly handy for controlling the types of computers we often look at on this channel. Like, for example, of course, our friend the Raspberry Pi. We could put the dongle into a Raspberry Pi, control that, or we could put it into a LattePanda. They both like it. Do you both like it? Yes, we both like the Ri. It's very exciting. And you could also use it with the Raspberry Pi Zero. The Raspberry Pi Zero, as you may remember, only has one USB port, but when you plug this adapter in, this could be controlled very nicely with a mouse and a keyboard combination. So I think what I'm going to do is to turn it off a second and to give it a proper charge, because that's the best thing to do with these things when you've first got them. And then we'll try it out in a more real-world situation where it's charged up using, I think, both the Pi and the Panda. Right, it's now a bit later on. I've got the Ri here in my hand as I sit back in my chair watching my television, which I've actually got connected up to my Raspberry Pi. And I should be able to therefore just take the Ri and use this to control the Pi nice and easily. And it looks like the mouse works there nice and easily. Let's just go up and launch the web browser. Will that run? It will. And I can move around. That's quite straightforward. I could go to explaining. Oh, I can't type properly. No, explain. computers.com. Who sometimes wishes they had a shorter web address? Me. But yes, it seems to work. I really must update this site. It was on the list for this year, still hasn't been done. But anyway, I think we've proved the principle. This thing works perfectly well to control a Raspberry Pi. So, by the magic of filmmaking, we will switch from the Raspberry Pi to the LattePanda to see how the Ri 8 works on a Windows machine. And here we are in Windows on the LattePanda. Again, all seems to be working absolutely fine. And in theory, I could even do things like press the home button on the Ri 8 and it will, yes, it'll launch straight to home on the web. That's fantastic, isn't it? We're clearly online. We can click on all these little things. Yes, we're definitely online. It's all working marvellously well. And dear me, looking at me, that's always a frightening thing to do. And in theory, I can press Control F4 to close a window because I've got those keys on this thing and it works. And I can even perhaps press the media key on the Ri there and oh yes, it'll launch whatever that is, the media player on the Windows 10 on the LattePanda. I've not tried that before. A very frightening thing. I've not seen that. I don't know what on earth is going on here, but it's obviously one of these media things you can do in Windows if you use things like that. Anyway, from my point of view, it all works very well indeed. Clearly the Ri works nicely with Windows 10. So there we are. The Ri i8 definitely gets my seal of approval as a nice little wireless keyboard mouse combination for controlling all kinds of computers, including single board computers like the Raspberry Pi and the LattePanda. As you probably gathered, I really like the Ri i8. Not just because it's got this lovely soft touch plastic on the back and it works very well, it's a nice solid piece of kit, but the main thing is it's got all these keys. You've got a key for everything you'd need on a computer. And I find that interesting because it's only about a week now since Apple have launched their new MacBook Pros, where they've removed the function keys, given this thing called the touch bar apparently. And this seems to be a trend in computing. If you think about the keyboards we get on tablets and smartphones and things these days, you're often struggling to find all the basic punctuation, let alone a function key or control key or something like that. And I therefore find it very reassuring you can have a small device like this, which nevertheless has all the keys you need to control anything on a computer. But now that's it for another video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, please press the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I hope to talk to you again very soon.